Just write down what you're doing on a daily basis, because I promise you, whatever you are doing, that's where in the data is the answer to why you are feeling overwhelmed and where you are leaking energy and focus.
You're listening to Fuzzled, where structure beats hustle every time. If you want marketing that's designed, not reactive, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome to Fuzzled, from confusion to clarity. I'm so glad you can join me. My name's Paul, and this is the podcast for thoughtful founders who want to become recognised experts online without the noise, guesswork, or constant content grind. Each week, we explore the systems behind authority, visibility, and sustainable growth in an AI-shaped world. And today's episode is about something many personal brands and small business owners experience all of the time. They feel busy. They are doing a lot. They are trying to stay visible online, serve their clients, respond to messages, post content, manage admin, follow up leads, and somehow still grow the business. But despite all of that activity, the results don't always match the effort. And that can feel deeply frustrating, because from the outside it looks like the problem is motivation. You assume you need to be more disciplined, focused, and more consistent, but often the real problem is structural. Simply put, the business doesn't have a daily rhythm that makes the right actions easier to repeat. And that is exactly what we're exploring today with my guest, Ana Clarke. Ana is passionate about helping business owners who feel stuck, overwhelmed, or buried in their own operations. She works behind the scenes to simplify systems, improve processes, and create businesses that actually flow. With a mix of practical strategy and straight-talking honesty, Ana helps people build businesses that support their life rather than take it over. So let's go and meet Ana in the Big Breakdown. Hi Ana, welcome to the Fuzzled podcast.
Hi, Paul. Thank you for having me.
I'm really pleased that you're here because your topic is very closely aligned to what I talk about quite often in the Fuzzled world. And that is all around how thoughtful founders are very hardworking in what they're doing. They're very talented in what they do, but operationally, sometimes things can feel a little bit heavy. So I wanted to start there, just in terms of some practical steps and some of your initial thoughts on that, because when you look at personal brands that feel busy but aren't seeing results, what is usually going on beneath the surface?
I believe, from my experience and working with other business owners, is that we confuse busyness with productivity. We think that if we fight fire with fire and we do lots of things during the day, that will bring us results. But the reality is very different. Busy doesn't equal productive. Busy doesn't mean you're going to be successful anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a feeling of being busy, isn't it? That feels like it is productive. But in time, you come to the realization that actually this isn't actually working and we need a different path forward. So that's what we're going to help people with today in terms of going from confusion to clarity on that. So let's get into the heart of today's conversation in the Big Breakdown. So you talk about combining two things, I noticed. One of them is a clear daily method of operation and simple systems that remove guesswork. So let's start with that first part. What is a daily method of operation? And how can someone create one that actually drives growth for them?
So, a daily method of operation is a unique individual system that we create based on our goals. So, it's almost like reverse engineering. We need to know how much money we need to make or how much of something we need to make in a month for us to be successful, and then break it down to daily habits. And then it goes to a little bit of a deeper level to understand that we work on different energy levels every day, and life happens, and that will affect the way we feel and our motivation. So we need to make sure that our daily method of operation, one, makes success available to us every day, and two, we can show up for our business even if we feel tired, emotionally drained, or surprised by life. So this daily method of operation is almost like your focus point. You switch on work mode, being laptop or phone, and you know exactly what you have to do. You don't have to guess. You know what steps you need to take, and it's there, and it's reliable, and it's your constant. That will never change. Well, it will change, but when you review it in 3 6 months.
So are you talking about working backwards there in terms of reverse engineering? So just talk us through that a little bit in terms of working backwards. So what do you mean there?
So I'll give you an example. In someone's business I worked with recently, they will need to have 300 clients a month to be able to pay their bills, to pay their staff, and to get a wage themselves. So it's very important that we sit down and write in details everything that we need for a particular period of time. And we need to think very carefully, how much does it cost for me to exist? Bills. How much does it cost for my children or dogs or whoever is in your care? If you have any staff, and then know how much of your products or services you need to sell that month. Then you need to understand, to have those clients passing your virtual doors or physical doors, there are different activities that you have to do to be visible, to have conversations, to post content. That's part of the visibility. Visibility is such a wide conversation. You also have to be present for your clients. So what is it exactly on daily basis that you have to do in the working hours that you have? Then after you write down all these activities, you just have to be very honest and sincere to put down what exactly you was doing, and see which activities are income producing and which activities do you think um, are actually income stealers. Because in the business that I mentioned, when the business owner wrote down the activities that they were doing, they were spending lots of time with buying cleaning products, organizing reception, doing other things that they were taking them away from meaningful activities that will produce those new clients to come in. So it was a learning process for them to delegate some of the stuff and actually understand their daily method of operation is very different. And then what I ask my clients to do is break that down in good, better, best. So on days that we feel tired, exhausted, we had an argument at home, something happened, a bill is late, anything, life has a beautiful way to surprise us. You know that you have to still show up for your business. But then, what is your good list? Things that you still did, your business still works, considering that you are not okay. And then on days that you are feeling better, what are the extra steps in each daily activity that you actually can do for your business and for yourself? And then your better days, when you are full of life, positive, everything flows in your life, how can you drive your business really forward? This is how you build that daily method of operation, respecting your energy levels, respecting your business, respecting your life. Because that daily method of operation, it's not necessarily limited to your business, because a business without a business owner doesn't exist. So you need to make sure that on that daily method of operation, you nourish number one, which is you.
Yeah, I love that. I love the detail that you went into there. So it's quite methodical, really, isn't it? And I know that you're a certified business strategist as well, and that certainly comes across in terms of your structural thinking there. It's great that you're talking about energy as well. So I talk about energy and protecting your energy ceiling.
Mm.
That's something we talk about at Fuzzled. Certainly, a lot of coaches and gurus online don't particularly talk about preserving your energy and the realization that you've got daily lives and families to look after as well. So it's really mindful to be talking about that. It's very refreshing. I know that you also talk about systems, Anna. So systems and removing the guesswork going forward. So how does systems support consistency, especially for people who struggle to stay disciplined?
Well, we know that discipline and motivation, again, there are terms that people they get confused. And staying disciplined is showing up for yourself and for your business, regardless of how you feel about it. So it's an ability to separate the process from the feeling. And regardless of how you feel, you just open that system that you have and you do it without thinking about it or how you feel about it. You just do the thing. And that comes with practice, and it's a habit and a habit stacking. And the more you do it, the more calm you feel, the more excited you feel to go to work or to show up for your business. And once you feel that calm, you want more of it. In the beginning, it might feel a little bit uncomfortable because you have to follow this, repetitive actions. But we know the famous saying that repetition is mother of skill. And the systems are there to offer you one of the human needs, which is consistency and certainty. And certainty is definitely delivered by a strong system. Because if you look at something that you have to do and you know that you have to do and it's planned for you ahead, you walk into it more calm, more reassured, and more confident. And also, you feel successful every day because you have achieved that list that is in front of your eyes. Because one of the most important things is to make successful easy for us. If we make it hard, we will feel like a failure every day, and we won't want to show up for anything that we want to do.
Yeah, I think that overwhelm is probably a product of not having a system, of not
Yes.
having any structure. So there's so much going on that it does feel overwhelming because it's quite chaotic, and that's the need for structure and systems and people like yourself, Anna, to help get
Mhm.
that into place. So certainly, I used to talk about calm and calm marketing. People say I am naturally calm. It's quite a compliment. Thank you very much. But I don't particularly sell calm. I mean, I used to help people who are overwhelmed. That was one of my phases in my marketing. But
Mm,
I don't really sell calm. I think that once you've got structure in place, then calm is a byproduct of that. So if you want to feel more calm and content, more peaceful, being able to go on holiday, not worry about the business, not stress about
mm.
it, then it's a case of having structure in the business to take care of things when you're not there. And that's how you're going to feel more calm going forward. So we need that structure absolutely in the business, very much so. So for anyone listening who feels overwhelmed right now, what's the simplest way to start creating clarity and momentum?
Just write down what you're doing on daily basis. Because I promise you, whatever you are doing, that's where in the data is the answer to why you are feeling overwhelmed and where you are leaking energy and focus.
So do you, or are you an advocate then of journaling? So in terms of writing down what you're doing, or are you could go to an extent of kind of writing down your thoughts about things, or could it be as simple as just writing down the tasks which you're doing throughout the day?
Yes, yeah. And because I grew up in a military environment, both of my parents were officers in the army, we call it documenting. So we just document our journey, even if it's on a voice note on the phone, even if it's whatever method works for you best, because not everyone is pen on paper. There are so many ways and apps and possibilities to record. Just sit down and write, speak, record, document, journal everything that you do because there lies the answer. And also, it's very important if you are not a logical mind, a structural, natural thinking person, that's why you have business strategists. If you record everything that you do, they will glance over it and they will tell you exactly what you have to change, and you will see an immediate shift.
Yeah, I think it's data at the end of the day, isn't it? It sounds pretty dry. In marketing, we call it data.
Yeah.
It's nicer to have to actually write down your thoughts and journal things. But it's data, absolutely, isn't it? You can look back at what you're doing and then what's working, what's not working, and identify those weak spots and
Mm.
what you can do to improve them, or even you might not need to be doing those tasks. So I think that's a great shout to document. Was it documenting? What was the term that you
Yes,
mentioned?
documenting, journaling, whatever,
Hmm.
makes it attractive for you, just do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely. Again, great point. Whatever works for you, whatever label you have, that is more appealing to you. It makes it easier to do the task as well, doesn't it? Anna, that's so insightful to talk to you and get your insights on those questions, all around bringing more structure into your business, having systems. And as we talked about, it always helps to think about your energy ceiling as well, and actually accommodate your energy and daily life within your week, within your business rhythm, and within your flow as well. So that's really mindful of you to say that. So we're going to move on to the next section of the show now, which is buzzword bingo. So now it's time for a quick round of buzzword bingo with Anna. So this is the part of the show where we take a phrase from marketing or business or a confusing acronym, and there are many of them, and we try to shine a light and provide a bit more clarity on what all of these words and acronyms actually mean. So over to you, Anna. Which buzzword have you brought to us today?
Was it systems versus motivation, isn't it? That I
Yeah,
wanted to.
systems versus motivation, which is a good one because a lot of people talk about motivation constantly online. Not as many people talk about systems. So, yeah, what's your take on systems versus motivation?
So, systems is a strong foundation to provide success, something that we can rely on, something that we can review and build on. And it's always there for us, no matter what. A system will always show up for you, for your business, for your personal life, and it will be there to guide you when you cannot guide yourself in certain situations. Motivation is that unreliable friend. It feels good to be around it, and you have lots of fun, but it doesn't come often, it doesn't stay long enough. So, motivation is just like a feeling, something that we should not rely on, and it's not something that should get us out of the bed. Because motivation comes when we feel resourceful, when we have the right people around us, when we drink well, eat well, we have enough energy in our body. And realistic speaking, it's very rarely when we have all of our boxes ticked. So definitely motivation is one to be grateful when it comes and to really push hard when it is with us, but not something to rely on. But systems are there to really focus, and it's your foundation for a very long time. I would say for a lifetime.
So, we talked earlier, or I mentioned earlier, how calm is a byproduct of systems and structure. Would you say
Mm.
that motivation is a byproduct of having systems in place, or systems helps at least to provide a bit more motivation, or not so?
Yes and no, but because it relies to many aspects of your life to be ticked, and that's again an individual maybe experience. Yes, you do feel more motivated if things feel good, and things will feel good if you have a system in place.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like having better engineering in the business, isn't it? Or better clockwork
Yes.
within a watch, having a good system in place. Yeah, I think we could talk for quite some time about systems and motivations. So thanks for bringing that along, Anna, and shining a bit more clarity on systems and motivations. We're going to move on to the next part of the show now, which is called What Would You Do? So, welcome, Anna, to this next section of the show, which is called What Would You Do? I guess for this episode, it's What Would Anna Do? So, here, imagine if you were starting from scratch again. It's the same experience, same skills. Obviously, you've got more lived experience now. What would you do if you were starting out in your business, kind of knowing what you know now about structure and the need for systems?
If I were to start today, I would do a lot of research to see people that have already achieved what I want to achieve and really look deeply into their daily method of operation and their structure and model them because modeling works. And then I would get visible very quickly. I would be out there using all the tools possible to go visible, podcasts, social media, networking events, PR, and get known for what I know and how I can help.
Yeah, I think that's key, isn't it? All of those points are really key. I certainly agree with you, having been on a similar journey in starting a business from scratch, and now helping people do the same. When you mentioned, first of all, you would research as the first task and potentially kind of document what you research as well. What types of things would you research?
I would look at someone who, well, at least three people that they have achieved something in the domain that I want to achieve. And then look at what they do on a daily basis. What is their mindset? What books they are reading? Who they are hanging out with? Where they are visible? Where can I see them all the time? What magazines they are interested to be in? And just look into their way of being and their way of approaching being a business owner that I want to become. And then just take notes and apply those things authentically in my life, because I don't want to be a mini copy of them, but just take things that work for me and really leverage that.
Yeah, it sounds very savvy. So it's about identifying the actions which you need to embody in order to become the person that you're researching. I guess
Mm.
if you're looking at those founders who you want to be someone like that, your version of that, what have they done to actually get there? So that's the research. So thanks for sharing all of those with us in terms of getting started. We're going to share how you can get in touch with Anna as well soon. So potentially you can start to work with Anna and do that research as well in your own business. For now, we're going to go on to the next section of the show, which is marketing fails and holy moly moments. So this is one of my favourite sections or parts of the show, marketing fails and holy moly moments. So this is where we either show that we are all human and we all have marketing fails, whether we're starting out or if we've got 30 years of experience, we should share those failures, share the insights. They're not failures as such. And maybe we've also got what is called a holy moly moment as well. So potentially we've got something in our business which we tried in terms of some marketing activity, and the results were fantastic. So let's share the success and the insight there. So over to you, Anna. What can you share with us today?
I would like to tell you a story about my PR journey. And first, I would like to share with the failures that I had as getting out there in the world. I have tried for probably 8 months, writing every day, quite a few emails every day to different journalists to get some articles out there, to get my business mentions, and nothing was happening. There were crickets everywhere. Not because my ideas weren't amazing, not that my achievements weren't amazing, it just didn't click. And then I had this moment of clarity when I understood if you want to be visible out there, you need to be visible for the person you are. And it's not necessarily that the business that you do that will give you the opportunity to talk about the business. So I understood that I really need to dig deep who makes Anna Anna and share that story. And as soon as I realized that, I started to have a lot of PR opportunities. I've been on the TV, BBC shows, 3 times in Women's Own magazine, in quite a few publications, nationwide publications. And it's all because I shared my story and I shared myself authentically. And with that, I started to mention my business and who I am. But I've realized, especially in 2026, person first, business second. And people will buy from you because they know, like, and trust you. And you can sell slippers or strategy. If they like you, they'll come and buy from you. But they need to know you first. I heard a really good saying the other day that you can't read a jar label if it would be inside.
On the
So,
inside, yeah,
yeah,
showing towards you, yeah.
yeah. So you just need to show people who you are and what makes you you, and they would be interested to know what you are doing, but they are more attracted to who you are.
Yeah, who you are as a person, which I think shows the importance of personal branding.
Mm.
Whether you're a solopreneur or entrepreneur, or if you're even a CEO of a larger company, of a small business, people want to get to know the people inside the business and who's leading the team. You showed a lot of tenacity there in terms of contacting PR or magazines and TV titles, etc. I don't know the process myself, but there's a lot of what's called outreach to
Yes.
actually contact people. And did you do that outreach for quite some time? And then eventually you got some people who got back to you, and then you got the opportunity. Was that the case for you?
It was the case of changing the way I presented myself, because I was presenting more my skills and my knowledge, and it came across very ChatGPT.
Right.
Because I was talking about the knowledge that I had and the skills that I had, but not so much about myself. When I changed it and I talked about myself as what makes me human and who I am, and I've done it without even realizing, because I didn't think people are interested in me. I thought they're interested in my skills and my knowledge and what I have to offer. But it's the other way around. They like that human connection, and they like that original thoughts and opinions about a certain matter, and not so much about knowledge and skills. That comes later, but it's the connection element first.
Yeah, I mean that's really interesting. Yeah, so it's less about the functional side of things, so less about experience and what you've got experience in, and more about what makes Anna Anna, or what makes
Mm,
Paul Paul, and your opinions on things, because your opinions are going to be slightly different to someone else's as well. So that's what people are interested in. Thanks for sharing that, Anna. That's really nice insight to actually have, because I know that PR is a great thing to do for your own visibility. We'll have some PR experts on the show as well, and yeah, that helps with a small step in terms of how to first approach doing PR and getting yourself out there. Yeah, to focus on your personality and what makes you you. So, what today's conversation with Anna highlights is this. Many founders are not failing because they lack motivation, they are struggling because their business relies too much on memory, energy, and improvisation. So, a simpler daily method of operation, like what Anna shared, changes that, gives the business a rhythm, and systems make that rhythm easier to repeat. And when the right actions are repeated consistently, visibility becomes calmer, leads become easier to nurture for you, and the business becomes less dependent on constant pressure. Because business should not feel like something you are constantly trying to catch up with. It should feel like a rhythm that supports your life, your energy, and your goals. And that doesn't mean removing the effort, it means making the effort a lot clearer. Because as was said in today's episode, the problem is really a lack of effort, it's effort without structure. So, before we close today's episode, a quick note about my roundtable sessions. These are my short online sessions for founders who want to build authority in the modern business landscape without getting stuck in the content chaos. The best starting point is session 1, which is called Build a 12-Month Visibility System Without the Content Grind. It's for founders and personal brands who feel like their marketing is busy, reactive, or scattered, and they want a clear direction for the next 12 months. You'll find the details in the episode show notes and at paulculshaw.com/events. Okay, so before we finish, Anna, tell us a little bit about what you're offering at the moment and how people can get in touch with you and follow you on the web.
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is Clarke. You can find me on Facebook, Ana Clarke. Currently, I work with a chiropractor. Has been in the domain for over 20 years, and we are doing a product called Integrate 360, because we realized that a business owner needs a 360 approach. Because working, interacting with different business owners, I realized that their health is at stake, their financial well-being is at stake, Their mindset is at stake. And when they tackle one of these, everything changes in their system. So we created this integrate 360 where we look at systems in your business, systems in your personal life, mindset, and health. And then we put stuff in place for you to function and to thrive not only in the business, but in your personal life as well. And you feel success in a 360 approach.
Brilliant. Yeah. So it's got a holistic approach to it there, being 360. It sounds very comprehensive. So if you're interested in connecting with Anna there on Instagram or learning more about the Integrate 360 strategy calls with Anna, we'll include the details in the show notes so you can find more details and people can connect with you. So head on down to the show notes. Anna, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been enjoyable for you. You certainly been quite natural on the Fuzzled podcast in terms of what Fuzzled is all about, with structure, managing energy systems, and building a business on systems rather than willpower alone. So great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely speaking with you about very important things, especially in 2026. And I hope we're going to get the opportunity to hear more about you as well, and not only asking questions.
Absolutely. Well, keep tuned to the show. Every couple of weeks, we've got a new episode out. Some of them are guest episodes and some of them are solo shows just with myself. So thank you again for coming on to the show. And to everyone else, thank you for listening all the way to the end. Until next time, remember, structure beats hustle every time. Thanks for listening to Fuzzled, where structure beats hustle every time. If today sharpened your thinking, you'll enjoy my weekly Friday feeling emails, calm, honest reflections with practical structure you can build around. Join the Marketing Clarity Club at paulculshaw.com and I'll see you in your inbox. Take care and keep building with structure.